Good afternoon, people of YouTube. I hope you're all well. I've just finished work. I'm about to go into the gym for my last heavy session before the British Championships. There has been a lot going on behind the scenes in my life recently, and I think this is where it's really important to remember that the animal pack athletes, and athletes in general, we are so much more than athletes. We are people with, lives and things going on. And you can't always preempt what is going to happen in your life as you lead into competitions. You can only control the controllables. So training for me is an outlet. Training is my happy place. It is where I can just zone out and lock in. And so even though I'm going into the session with so much going on in my mind, I know that as soon as I get warmed up and I lock in, all it is, it's me in the bar and the session. At the end of the day, I'm always the kind of person where I really do believe mindset is everything. I often talk about the 1%, and the 1% progress is more than just physical, it is mindset. Mindset really is everything. So, if you can overcome that which distracts you, pulls away your attention, fatigues you mentally and physically outside of the gym, and really just get to work when it matters, that will make all the difference at the end of the day. I compete this Friday, so I'm taking the day off work. It's the first time I've ever competed on a Friday and I had to take the day off work. So I lift at about 2 p.m. up to Birmingham in the morning, and make sure I give myself plenty of time to just settle into the day. Anyway, let's get my pre-workout and get into the gym.
Like any normal person, I have a big bag of supplements in the back of my car, so I grabbed my pre-workout pump, headed into the gym and went and got changed. I tend to take the pill packet about 40 to 50 minutes before I start my workout, which is ideal because my warm-up takes a long time these days. I've been lifting for 10 years now, and every year my warm-up takes a little bit longer as I grow a little bit older and stiffer. Not to mention having a full-time job and doing lots of travelling, so I'm always really mindful of taking my time with my warm-up and not just rushing into my session and trying to throw heavy lifts over my head, because while that worked when I was 19, my injury risk is getting much higher these days. One thing I have developed over the years is a consistent warm-up routine, so that every time I go into the gym, I know exactly what I'm doing, and it's just my way of priming my body and brain to know that we're about to lift heavy weights. This was my last heavy session before the British Championships, so I worked up to what would be my openers. Everything felt okay. As I say, I was feeling a bit stiff and a little bit lethargic, but actually I was really happy with how the session went. Fast forward a few days and it was on to comp day. So initially I planned to drive up to Birmingham, but I ended up getting the train with my friend. It wasn't a super early start, but I wanted to make the most of having the opportunity to get a few more hours sleep, so I basically got ready on the train. I did my makeup, put my braids in some plaits before I left the house just to give it a cute wave. So here I am, feeling myself, look good, feel good, all that jazz. We arrived into Birmingham International and it was time to head over to the NEC. This is my friend Nurin. Nurin and I have been friends and competitors for years. It was time to go get our singlets on and head over to weigh-in.
I don't know what to do with my hair. I'm probably tired.
In weightlifting, you weigh in 2 hours before you compete, unlike some sports like boxing where you often get a 24-hour weigh-in. Once the weigh-in was done, it was time to refuel and head over to the warm-up.
British Championships 2025, Jenny Tong, how are you feeling?
I don't really know what to expect today. I'm really just here to have a good time. I think the thing about weightlifting is it's so easy to put so much pressure on yourself to perform, and weightlifting is so much more than winning medals. So I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling like I want to just get out on the platform and get started, to be honest.
Of course, we love an organised girly, so I had my pre-workout and energy tabs ready to go, and this is my best friend Alicia. She does my comp coaching, and this is Tom, one of my oldest friends in weightlifting, who is my assistant coach. This is the warm-up space in the back room of the event held at the NEC. I start drinking my warm-up as I'm warming up for my snatches so that it has fully kicked in by my clean and jerks, because that is when I need the most energy. I was having a bit of a drama though because I couldn't find a scoop. And yes, in true Jenny style, of course I didn't screw on the lid properly and managed to get pre-workout out myself. One of the things I love about these events is bumping into people I don't get to see very often. As I say, I've been weightlifting for a long time, so you do develop good relationships with the technical officials and coaches from around the country. It was then time to get warmed up, and as I mentioned earlier, having a consistent warm-up routine is really helpful for getting into the zone and prepping your mind, body and soul to just do exactly the same thing you do every other session. But this is where it all started unravelling slightly. The night before, on my way home from work, I actually got knocked off my bike by a white van driver. Now, don't worry, I was and am fine. Luckily, it wasn't anything serious, but I did put my hand out to stop myself from hurting myself too much. And because of the shock and the adrenaline, at the time I didn't realise how much my wrist was hurting. But when I woke up the following morning, my wrist was incredibly stiff. Now, this is quite problematic in weightlifting because for obvious reasons, you do require a significant amount of wrist flexion and you are putting a lot of load and strain through the wrist, and I was in a lot of pain. In true animal pack athlete style, sometimes you just have to control the controllables, and I wasn't going to let it stop me from enjoying the competition, being present, and going out there and giving it my best. My warm-up didn't go terribly, but it didn't feel good, and it really hurt. Despite all my warm-up lifts feeling different, I didn't miss any. However, when I went out onto the platform, it was like my body went into self-protection mode. As you can see in that first attempt, it was like my body just didn't want to let my wrist flex backwards. I've been lifting for long enough now that I know how to correct errors, so I decided to go up in weight anyway. I knew my body was capable of it, I just had to convince my mind to let my body execute. I knew that all I really needed to do was drive a little bit harder and commit more at the top of the pull. Unfortunately, I then overcompensated, drove too hard and sent the bar out back, which obviously was quite a shock to my wrist. When it came to the third attempt, I knew which corrections I had to make, and I also really needed to make this lift to stay in the competition. I needed a little bit more leg drive than the first rep, a little less leg drive than the second rep, and confidence overhead. And it's the latter that ended up letting me down. While I made all the right corrections, I just wasn't confident enough to punch the bar out as I received it, leading to pressing out my elbow. This in weightlifting is considered a no lift, meaning I bummed out and I was out of the competition.
How are you feeling?
I'm not feeling great, to be honest, after that performance. I bombed. For those of you who don't know what a bomb is, I failed to register a total. I missed my snatches, so not feeling the best. I haven't bombed in a very long time, so yeah, it's not the best feeling. I've had a really tough few months, but despite that I still wanted to come and give it my all. And then yesterday, lo and behold, a white van driver knocked me off my bike and I really hurt my wrist. I nearly pulled out, but I decided to come anyway, and yeah, today just wasn't my day. It is what it is, it's not the end of the world, it's only weightlifting, but it still hurts. It's not a nice feeling. There is so much more to sport than winning medals and winning titles. I do weightlifting because I enjoy it. It is important to me to find the balance between enjoying my sport and not putting too much pressure on myself. So to have come today, put some weight on the bar and given it a good try, I'm proud of that. I couldn't have asked for more. I was in a lot of pain. Every time I went to receive a snatch, I was getting shooting pain down my wrist. I was struggling to grip the bar from the floor. Just none of it felt good. So to have tried my best is as much as I can ask of myself, and that's what I'd say to any other person. Just give it your best. Not the best day at the office, but the sun is shining, the world's still spinning. I'm here with my friends. You know, I'm gonna go back inside now, watch some more weightlifting and enjoy my weekend, and then it's back to training on Monday.
It's like a cool guy. We were like West Coast America, we went to one. I don't know anything about it.